Hey everyone, Coach Steve here with Coach Lee. We're going to be looking at some control from the back for no-gi. Obviously, this stuff will work in a gi too, but we're not in gi. So, if you watched Coach Luke's lesson earlier this week, he had some concepts that are really helpful for controlling someone from the back. He talked about pulling in with the heels and squeezing in with the knees. And as you feel your partner trying to go to a side, just creating that wall. And just making it really difficult. You know, the more you can do this, the more it's going to free your hands up to start attacking. You know, we had this when they were seated. If they were all the way back on top of us, again, we can still do the same kind of thing. Where I can pull in with the heels, drive in with the knees. You know, if my partner does manage to start getting off to the side, you know, I can kind of hit that heel toe knee, reset, bring it back on top. So, like I said, all that stuff is great while we're up, you know, while we're on our backs, whatever. But eventually, we're going to want to have some kind of controlling position. So, I think a few of the most common things that you're going to see, you know, if you can do it, your best back control position is going to be a body lock. This is just really going to immobilize your partner's hips. It's going to make it super difficult for him to move. It's going to make it difficult for him to get onto his back, start scraping. And this whole time, I've got both hands available to start attacking him. Now, obviously, that is going to be a little bit more dependent on, you know, your anatomy versus your partner's anatomy. If you've got really short legs and a really big partner, that's probably going to be a little bit more difficult to do. But there is a variation that you'll see where I can get my leg across Coach Lee's waist and I can put my other foot up on his hip. Now from here, this allows me the same sort of control. And again, it's difficult for Coach Lee to move, and I can constantly work to crawl up my partner and get higher and higher and start looking for these harnesses, this control on the arm. But the important thing is that my leg is just like a bar across my partner's hip. So for that one, I'm going to have to get a little bit more onto my side so that my leg is up. Again, it's not a flexibility thing, it's just I have to position my hips correctly. I shouldn't feel any pressure in my knee while I'm doing this. Same thing with the body triangle. There's also the option when my partner comes aside, if I can't body triangle because I've got a bigger partner, I can always stack my feet just like this, pull in, and clamp the hip. So now it's difficult for Coach Lee to move. And again, I have a lot of options for just attacking his neck. Let's try this way. So, again, this works really well. We have a bigger partner. We can't get our hooks in the way we want to. We can't find that body triangle. I'm just pinching in tight here, putting my top foot on my lower foot, and I'm squeezing his hip. So now it's difficult. He can't roll away easily. He can't turn into me. He can't get his back to the floor. And it gives me a lot of control. Similar to that position, there's also the reverse lockdown. So here, instead of stacking my foot, I'm going to figure four my leg. I'm going to reach under Coach Lee's bottom leg. Again, this gives me some control. I have to have a little bit more upper body control though, because Coach Lee can pretty easily just roll up. Yeah, he can roll up into that half guard position, and now I'm on the bottom. So while this does work, I need some sort of upper body control to keep my partner from rolling away. I can have his arm, I can have his leg, I can have his leg here, but I need that control. Again, I think you're gonna find this one is gonna work better with bigger partners. It does allow you a lot of control. It keeps that hip from moving. And you don't have to have the same kind of leg length or hip mobility to like hold them in that sort of position. As far as the upper body goes, we've got a few different ways we can find this. Now obviously if you've got some really good leg control here, it's going to free your hands up to attack from both sides. But there are going to be times when we want a little bit more control, maybe initially when we first get to position. So on my regular harness, I've got one hand over and I've got one hand under. And my hand that's under is going to grab the hand that's over. Now, the reason why is because when I have my hands like this, if Coach Lee defends, I can shoot up, grab his shoulder, and start my choke. If my hands are reversed and Coach Lee defends, now I've got nothing. He's got my choking arm, and my other arm is trapped. He's going to start a sneak. When you get your harness, I'm not leaving my harness down here. This is really easy for Coach Lee to defend. I'm bringing my harness up to here. It's a better connection. It's more difficult for Coach Lee to deal with. He's already uncomfortable, and now it's really short to just grab the shoulder and start attacking. So, lower body, heels in, knees pinched. If I can keep my partner up, I'll keep them up so that I can start attacking. If I find myself in a position where I need a little bit more control, I can harness up. Now when he defends the harness, I can work my way in. If I end up on my back, again, same thing, pinching, pulling the heels in. He moves to the side, I create walls. If he gets all the way off to the side, I keep one leg hooked, heel, toe, knee, back up, reset him. If we end up all the way onto our side, I've got a few options. If I'm capable of doing it, body lock. This is going to be the most control that you're going to have with your lower body. If I can't quite do this, I can still leave that leg across, foot on the hip, pinch a little bit. I've still got a lot of control. My foot's on Coach Lee's hip. I can feel it moving. It's difficult for him to turn his hips. I can stack my feet, pinch his hip with my knees. Again, gives me a lot of control. It's difficult for him to move his hips, difficult for him to get to his back. Last but not least, I can extend this out a little bit, figure four my own leg, catch his bottom leg. Remember, I want some kind of upper body control for this, but this gives me a lot of control. I can start working my chokes and getting everything in. So, again, as we've talked about with so many things, being able to control the position is super important if you ever want to be able to land any submissions. If Coach Lee can freely move his hips, can freely move his shoulders, and put his back and the back of his head on the floor, he's going to get out every time. I'm never going to get a choke on him. And especially now that I don't have gi and I have so many less options for how I can choke him from the back, that control becomes even more important. So take some time, develop this squeeze, and learn how to feel when your partner is moving so that you know where to apply that pressure. If you do have a harness, get a better connection with it. It makes a world of difference as far as being able to get those chokes in. Yeah, this kind of seatbelt harness is just, it's really easy to defend. It's a lot harder to defend when everything's up here nice and tight. If you're not up or you're not on your back, find the leg control that you like. Find a leg control that works for your body. If you're super tall and have long legs, body triangles are great. That variation of the body triangle is great. You know, but we can also get a lot of control just by having one of our partner's legs with our knees pinching your top hip. So practice, work on that squeeze, find what works for you, and the more control you have, the more submissions you're gonna end up with. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.